What's going on, everybody? We're back in the lab with Abru and King David, man, for DBM Sports, man. We got a great one tonight. We got one of the most controversial topics of who's the best. On 4th and 1, who getting the ball? Alabama running back or UGA running back? You know what I mean? So we're going to talk about it tonight. We're going to make cases for both of them. You know what I mean? Yes, we are UGA, but at the same time, we can't ignore the dominance of Alabama running backs also. You know what I mean? So let's get into it. King David, man, how things been going with you?
Oh, it's good. Good, hey, bro. Good to be back on the show here and doing another one.
Yeah. So we're gonna, we've been getting some comments going back and forth this week on our TikTok. You know what I mean? Of course, if you went to or pulled for Alabama, of course you're going with the Alabama running backs, and then if you went to UJ or pulled for UJ, you was going for the Dogs running backs. But we got 8 running backs, 8 really good running backs that we're gonna be talking about. 4 and 4. You know what I mean? We're gonna start with UGA running backs. We're gonna start with UGA running backs, man. We're gonna go up here. The first running backs we're gonna talk about UGA. The 4 is Nick Chubb, Todd Gurley, Sony Michel, and Knowshon Moreno. I put in, when I was doing this show here, I put in the top running backs for the school since 2000. I didn't go no further than 2000s. So that's why it stops there. Once again, UGA running backs is Nick Chubb, Todd Gurley, Sony Michel, and Knowshon Moreno. Then we're going to go over to the 4 running backs from Alabama. And they are, of course, Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram, Trent Richardson, and Najee Harris. So we got some. We know Alabama got some big bruising, big 6'3" running backs. Man, Najee was pretty big himself, and Derrick Henry, of course. But we can't take away from what UGA running backs got. You know what I mean? Like Nick Chubb. So, and let's start about the few running backs that's still in the league. I know Derrick Henry. And we know Nick Chubb is, and I think Najee Harris is still in the league. So, 4 for 1, man. 4 for 1 right out the rip before we start getting in our case. 4 for 1, who getting the ball out of those 8 running backs I just mentioned?
That's a tough question. From a pure stats, talent standpoint, I'm probably looking at Gurley. He's a combination of kind of speed, power, vision, balance, athleticism. That'll probably be my guy. 4th and 1, who I'm gonna give the ball to out of those guys.
Yeah. I like Todd Gurley too. He was one I was gonna bring up, and how I was gonna break it down. We'll start breaking it down, and as people come in the live, because we are live right now. I see a few people in the live. Who we got? We got 1 person from Kick, 2 people from DBM Sports on YouTube, and 1 person from Dry Bones Media on YouTube right now. But, you know what I mean? With UGA, we're going to start off with Nick Chubb. And then I'm going to go back and forth between the running backs. Nick Chubb, man, his strength was arguably the most reliable short yard runner. You know what I mean? That's what Nick Chubb was specialty at, the short yards runner. So 4 for 1, if I didn't go with Todd Gurley, I would have went with Nick Chubb because Nick Chubb, he's dominant in that. And then let me go over here to bring it up in I'm gonna bring it up to Derrick Henry, man. Derrick Henry, of course, he's a 6'3" monster. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. And power runner. He don't have that breakaway speed no more. He used to have that speed where he could break away from me, but in 4 for 1, you don't need that breakaway. Right. You just need pure power. So he arguably can lean for 1 yard with the right push. You know what I mean? So then we go back up to UJ running back, Todd Gurley, as we mentioned before. Explosive with elite vision. That's one thing I did like about Todd Gurley, man. He was fast, he was quick, but he had vision. But at that time, UGA did have them big holes up front too, to can them holes open. You know what I mean? And now we go back to Mark Ingram. Mark Ingram was Alabama's first Heisman Trophy winner. You know what I mean? So, and Mark Ingram, he was that stocky power hammer. You know what I mean? He was just Mark, man. He was just a reliable back that had great quickness. You know what I mean? Some people gonna be like, "Oh, you don't know Mark Ingram." I don't know Mark Ingram. Yeah, I'm a UGA guy. I'm just giving you what I wrote down on Mark Ingram. You know what I mean? And then we go back to Sony Michel. Sony Michel for UJ is a clutch performer in big games. He always showed up in big games when he got the ball. You know what I mean? That was one of the Sony Michel's. Plus, he had speed too. But when the game's on the line, clutch, and the play need to be made, Sony Michel will make it. He went to the pros. He won 2 Super Bowls, but then walked away from the game, which I don't blame him. I know you should beat yourself up after that. And now we go back to Trent Richardson. Trent was built like a linebacker, but can run. You know what I mean? He didn't do. I don't know how smart he was. What these cats gonna come? You don't know Trent Richardson. I damn sure don't know Trent Richardson because he didn't last in the league as long. But Trent was built like a linebacker, but had speed, and I like Trent. You know what I mean? At that time. And the last one, man, for Georgia, man, Knowshon Moreno. A lot of people forget Knowshon Moreno, man, but he was one of our first true. What we say about Knowshon Moreno was a tough and emotional leader. He would get fired up over there, bro, and he ran so hard for New Jersey. I watch his podcast sometime. Him and Aaron Murray and a couple of them have had their own little podcast now. So Knowshon, people forget about Knowshon, but I used to like Knowshon, man. When he was with Denver, and then he went down to Miami for a little bit before he was his NFL career came to a close. And the last for Alabama was Najee Harris. Elite balance and athleticism. For Najee, size and slender body, Najee remind me of, to me, a little bit of how he was built, but he could run a little bit, was old school guy, Eric Dixon.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He remind me of Eric Dixon on something, not all, because I don't think he ain't had the speed of Eric Dixon, but the slender build of how Eric used to run. So, yeah, man. But 4-for-1, Nick against Kirby. You got to hand that thing off. You need 1 full yard, man. You only got 1 try. I think I'm gonna go with Todd Gurley again, man.
Gotcha. Yeah, them all great choices, man. Like you said, the way you broke it down, all great choices. It's hard to go wrong with any of them. Like I said, we're just looking at a pure talent, running back talent, not with the offensive line or what they look like. But yeah, if the offensive line was bad or not, but yeah, it's hard to go wrong with any of them. Exactly. I know some of the power backs, like say, sometimes have to get going. Like Big Henry.
Mm-hmm.
At least in the NFL at this point, if you kind of can get him before he get going, you can get him.
Yeah.
But once he get going, you in trouble.
That's what's his name, Josh Norman.
Right.
He treated Josh Norman like a little boy out there. You know what I mean? So no, with you on that. Is Najee Harris still in the league? I want to know if he.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know after he left Pittsburgh, I don't really know what happened to him. But yeah, he's a nice back with patience, good patient back, like say vision, footwork. Yeah, he was nice.
Let's see, Najee Harris. Let's see if he's still in the league. If he is, who he playing for? Okay, you say he played for the Los Angeles Chargers right now.
Okay.
So he out there with Harbaugh. Yeah, West Coast, we don't get many West Coast games like that. So I wouldn't have kept up with him like that, not being my guy. But he's still fairly young, man. He only 27 years old, so he's still fairly young. That's running.
Yeah. He just didn't get it. Like Pittsburgh didn't renew that contract or whatever. They didn't give him the contract, so it makes the second contract. So yeah, young guy.
He's a young guy. So yeah, I like. And then I used to like Najee when he was with Alabama. He ran hard at Alabama, but that's when all these teams. I'm not just saying Alabama. I'm gonna say all these teams because back then Alabama and Georgia and all of them used to do it. That's where you could stack 3 and 4 star line running backs, linebackers, offensive line. You could stack them for that 1 year, and they go out and have a breakout year, and then they end up going to the pros. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the 5-star guys, yeah, they just wanted the opportunity. So yeah, they'll wait for the opportunity before
Yeah.
this new NIL stuff happened. But yeah.
Now with the NIL, ain't nobody waiting. There's
No.
nobody waiting. You know what I mean? Because why wait when I can go play somewhere and still get paid?
Right.
So I'm with these guys. But like I said, we had a great number. We had a great a number of 8 running backs right there, and you you can't go wrong with any of those backs. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yes, I'm UGA biased, so I'm gonna probably pick a UGA guy every time, 9 out of 10 times. But I can't take nothing away from Derrick Henry. I can't take nothing away from Mark Ingram, nothing away from Trent Richardson or Najee Harris. I can't, honestly speaking, because all those guys made it to the pros. So all those guys was elite running backs during the time.
Oh, bro, you don't jump you jumped on the BAMA bandwagon, man. You come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Damn, man,
No, I'm
man, I gotta throw a damn flag on myself. Throw a flag on myself. I can't be doing that. I delete everything I said. Erase the tapes. No, let me stop, man. Let me stop. No, but honestly, man, they were good. And just like we were saying with Todd Gurley and Nick Chubb and Sony Michel and Knowshon Moreno, all 8 of those guys made it to the pros. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, right now, maybe Derrick Henry will be a Hall of Famer.
He probably had the better career with longevity.
Yeah.
Out of all of them.
Yeah. Nick Chubb still played for Houston.
Yeah. Injuries. After the injuries, he wasn't the same.
He wasn't the same. Nick was a hell of a back. But if I had to give it to any of the 8 that we just talked about, Derrick Henry probably would have the Hall of Fame career. Todd Gurley career, he would have been hot, but his career was too short.
Short, yeah. Some injuries happened to him too at the knees or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
The arthritic knees. And then Sony Michel went to the right systems. He won 2 Super Bowls, one with New England and the other one with the Rams. So he won 2 ships, in his, I think, 7-year career. And his injuries started piling up too. The running backs, man, they take so much punishment. So the same with Knowshon Moreno. It was just injury. So we couldn't go wrong with any 8 of those guys. So if anybody, want to argue their point, join the link, man. Join the chat. We'll put the chat in there. We'll have the producers sit the chat in there. Y'all can jump in and talk about this thing.
Yeah, what the chat is saying, man. In the comments, picking a guy. Yeah,
the producer got the chat up because I can't. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see if she got the chat. Nobody, no comments right now from the chat right now. So I guess we're doing a solid job with the running backs. So yeah, and so I'm good with that, man. I'm good with that. So of course we're gonna go with UJ. UJ win. But now we got to go into the coaching, man. We still got to go into the coaching. We got to talk about this college thing. We got a lot to talk about with these guys moving around right now. A lot of people coming on the investigation, man. They said they finna investigate some players out of Indiana. Said they was ineligible to play, and they still played. Will that negate their? They won't negate the championship because they won, they beat everybody. But if you got players that's ineligible, will they put an asterisk beside your championship?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we seen them guys old, man. Some of them had more gray hairs than I got.
Hey, bro, that one dude looked like he had about 6 kids, bro. 6 kids, a wife, and on the verge of retirement and drug Social Security. That one kid was when that picture, I couldn't believe they even let that hit the air like that, bro. So
they said here's an ex NFL player came back to college, man.
So he had a year eligibility left. Yes, I do believe that. Yeah, I gotta pull this up, bro. I'm trying to pull it up, man, because no, but yeah, that's let's see here. Dang, I can't pull it up right now. But my screen frozen. But I ain't worried about it. But yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, they won the championship. You can't technically take away from them. But yeah, it's an asterisk. Or if they try to strip them for whatever reason, at the end of the day, people still be like, yeah, well, Indiana still won. So it's kind of really hard to truly take away from him.
Yeah,
But
they
so
won. Fair square.
right. So it is what it is.
Mhm.
But yeah, some of the guys, at least like I said, that one did look like he was pretty old out there.
He really
But
did. He really did. So you know what I mean. So I don't know how they're gonna play out, but like I say, they won. They won. It's on videotape. It's in the record. You can put an asterisk
right,
by Indiana beat everybody some shit.
right,
They won. You know what I mean. So I could care less, bro.
right.
You know, it ain't my thing. Whatever. But the big topic I want to talk about, man. We want to talk about these Falcons, man. What do you grade Matt Ryan and Ian Cunningham right now with the decisions that they're making on the Falcons?
I like it. Like I said, they straight up. They telling players, look, man, we not bringing you back. So I think they're just trying to get their guys. This roster that was put together wasn't their team anyway, their guys. So now they just trying to get their guys in there. So I'm get it. I like it. Like I say, guys that didn't perform, got to move on.
Like Donnell
So
Mooney, they said they released
right,
Donnell Mooney.
right, didn't perform,
He
didn't live
stay
up.
hurt.
Right. Didn't live up to that contract. And even though it wasn't a very big contract, but he still didn't live up to it. Didn't wasn't a deep threat that we anticipated he would be when he came here.
Yeah, that's true. He wasn't. He was a speedster, but no, yeah, you know, I think because they had paid him like 4 years, 37. It wasn't a huge contract for him.
Right.
You know what I mean? But for him it was good, but it wasn't a solid number 2 contract, I should say. When you look
Right.
at Drake and all those boys, you know what I mean? That what they gonna get when they time to
Right.
renew.
Right.
So and then I see that Tyler Algier might be out also.
Which we kind of knew that. We talked about that before. Running backs, like I say, we just talked about a bunch of running backs from UGA and Alabama. So running backs are a little bit easier to find. Especially doing what he do. Of course, he's a hard runner. He never fumbles, which that might be a little tougher to find. But just to get a running back who can run hard, you can pretty much find that, and younger. So yeah, I like Algier, but let the man go get paid, man. He gonna go somewhere and get a nice check.
It was deserving, bro. He was nothing but a professional and a pro here from what I could see on the field. Don't know him personally, but even because he was our guy, and then when
Right.
they drafted Bijan,
Good job. Right.
Bijan became the guy. They was trying to
Right.
split time, but there was clear talent. What I say when I say talent, Bijan is just more talent of a agility and runner. But when it comes to power, Algier gonna get you that 1 yard over Bijan. I see Bijan get swallowed up when they try to run in between the tackles.
Oh yeah, but yeah, you got to look at the generational talent, man. You line them up side by side, Bijan gonna jump off the page and be like, look, man, I can't go wrong if I keep that guy.
Oh, no doubt on that.
So yeah.
So did you think they did the right thing by franchising Kyle Pitt?
I like the move. I do. I know Pitts is another one of those very talented players. I think he was out of position in this previous regime in the way they was using him. So I'm eager to see how Stefanski going to use him in his system. Knowing Stefanski used tight ends the way he used David Njoku up in Cleveland.
Exactly.
Njoku had a very good season under Stefanski. So I'm looking forward to see how Pitts is going to be used in this system. I think he's going to have a very successful season. Of course, we know the talent is there. His rookie year, he went over 1,000 yards, almost broke
He did.
the rookie record by Ditka. So we know the talent is there. Got to find the right quarterback to deliver the ball to him and put him in the right positions that fits his skill set.
Do you think? I don't think the team got confidence in Michael Penix. They saying the right thing about keeping Penix, but at the same time, I think there's some doors being left open about him being their guy.
I think you have to, bro. For this injury history, like you talked about it before, I think you have to leave that door open. You just can't go out on a limb and say this is my guy. Like I say, we don't know how he's going to bounce back from that injury. We don't know if his is he going to get better at reading defenses and making decisions. We don't know that, so I agree. I just won't say he's my guy either. If I was in their position, he got to earn it. And
Yeah,
he haven't earned it, nothing. So yeah.
yeah, and then it seemed like him and Pitts wasn't on the same page. You know what I mean? Like when, and I don't want to down Penix because I think he's a good young quarterback, but he got some shortcomings. But when you had that 6'6" tight end, and we was all talking about, man, you got to get rid of Kyle Pitts because Penix wasn't throwing to me. He was dropping a lot of passes too. But then when Kirk came in there, it was like he was able to click with Kirk. He had a monster last 5 games.
But don't forget now, Drake was out at that time too, so Pitts was getting a lot of those number one routes. He was getting receiver routes opposed to tight end routes. I think Pitts is a receiver, but I think this staff was trying to make him a tight end and get him to block, which is good, but that's just not what he do. I don't think he's got that mindset to block and be physical. Not block at a high level. Not just the NFL. So at times you're going to have to block.
That's true.
In the position, but with his skill set, he's a receiver, and that's how you should have been using him as a receiver.
They should have, but he was drafted as a tight end out of Florida. You know what I mean?
I get that, but at the number draft number
8,
4,
I think
number 8,
4th or 8th or something like that. I can't remember.
Right, you can't make that square peg fit in a round hole, man. He does certain things. We got to take that to use it to his advantage.
And he is a unicorn. You know, he's a unicorn. He's that type of guy that he can stretch the field because he back then he had speed. I don't know. We hadn't seen it this year because he was running a lot of crossing routes. But shit, I'm gonna put him. I'm gonna have him matched up with a linebacker easily every time because I know linebacker can cover that kid. You know what I mean? Cover Pitts.
Yeah, and very few corners gonna cover. They're not big enough.
Exactly.
So I just don't think we used this previous coaching staff used him properly.
So now we've had two coaching staffs that came and went since Kyle Pitts here. You know what I mean? He was drafted during the Arthur Smith term. He did have 1,000 yards on the Arthur the first season. Mm-hmm. Then he was injured. Then he kind of we had quarterbacks problems after that. You know what I mean? So that ultimately got Arthur Smith out of here. Then you get Raheem, what's called what Capri Pants wearing head coach that want to just be super cool. And then with Zach Robinson, and I have no idea. People still don't know what the hell they were doing or calling to this day. So he didn't look good his first year and a half under Raheem or Zach Robinson. But then that's why you had the franchise Kyle Pitts, because under those last 5 to 6 games after Penix got hurt, Kirk was finding that kid. And you're right, Drake was hurt. But if you know Kyle Pitts is the guy, or he can catch, when Darnell Mooney out there, I would have had Drake and Kyle out there on the ends. You know what I mean? And then we put another tight end and just let him block.
Yeah, they were saying it was coaching deficiencies.
Yeah,
to say the least. It's like they didn't know what they were doing. And of course, more reports that came out that Zach and Ike Hilliard, them cats didn't get along to the point where they're about to squabble a lot, several times. It was that bad. The wide receiver coach that they got fired.
Yeah, no.
It was like they was about to come to squabbling.
And that's why I fought Raheem. That's why I know Raheem was a dumbass. You know what I mean? Let me say that. And he was all about his friends. And he got fired with his dang on friends. Yeah. Ike Hilliard was here before Rob. Ike Hilliard had hell of a football knowledge. The receivers love Ike. And that's what ultimately got Ray McLeod benched out of here, because he spoke up on Ike Hilliard's behalf. You know what I mean? And Rob was so Raheem was so ignorant and dumb, he was willing to die. He was willing to what's called, how do agents say, down the sword or whatever for his guy, and the ultimate got both of their ass up out of here. Just dumb, bro. Yeah, I never seen nobody willing to throw your career away for another cat.
I was about to get to that. That's definitely not good leadership. that you can't make a decisive decision on what the team needs. It was evidence that the offense was a problem, special teams was a problem, and nothing happened to those positions.
Exactly.
So just wasn't good leadership. From
But
him, he didn't show good leadership. I should
then
say.
you bought Jimmy Lake in here. Jimmy Lake got torched, and you got rid of him after 1 year. Zach Roberts was getting torched, and you kept that kid. I don't, Raheem, he just pissed me off so bad, bro. I have nothing good to say about that man, bro. I have nothing good to say about Rob. He probably don't care about me either, but I damn sure don't care about Rob, bro. And he can be like, well, I'm rich. You might be, Trick. I can care less about that. You know what I mean? But your ass can't coach here in Atlanta no more. Kick rocks with open-toe shoes.
He like my boy. I don't know what it is about your face, but whatever it is, I just want to put one of these.
Exactly. Exactly, bro. So it is. And now I'm glad we kept Ubrick. And I'm glad we I don't know who made that call to say, hey, we want to retain Ubrick. I don't know who made that call because usually a lot of coaches bringing their own coaching staff. Whether it was Matt, whether it was Ian Cunningham. No, Ian wasn't here at the time.
Right.
Or
Matt
Arthur,
wasn't here.
Matt was here. Arthur might have made that call, right?
Yeah.
He's probably here.
Mm-hmm. Because remember, he declined to Dallas from even interviewing him.
That's true.
So that was, I think, his call. So I think that told us everything we need to know. Like I say, when he did not deny Dallas from even interviewing that man, that the next coaching staff that came in had to be on board with keeping him. Retaining him, I should say.
And Ubrick did his thing. Ubrick did his thing. Jeff did his thing with that young defense that we had. You know what I mean? Because we had Jalen Walker, who's a rookie, James Pierce, who's a rookie, Billy Bowman, and Xavier Watts. All four rookies started on this defense, and they did really well. You know, unfortunately, the offense kept bogging out, so it tied the damn defense down so much. You know what I mean? And it was making the defense look like, trash after a while. But I am excited to see what this defense gonna do next year under second year Jeff Ubrick. If we can keep James Pierce, we don't know how that situation gonna go. But I would hate to lose that kid.
Yeah, but as of right now, he should be free to play as of right now. Nothing came down suspension wise. No, his legal case haven't went for it yet, so he should be safe to play as of right now. Because there's, like I say, NFL and then had said nothing about the suspension. The Falcons had said nothing about suspension, so the cats should be coming to camp.
Yeah, and it never came. It came out with almost like I'm not sure if it got to the Ray Rice level. I don't know, alleged. So I don't know, but I hope the guy can get on the field, and I think now after going through that experience, he was a young, high testosterone guy, just had lost the defensive rookie player of the year. Got on the plane. This is a girl of probably 6 years. Say she didn't want you no more. It was hot strong with this dude, but I hope we don't cut this dude and he goes somewhere else and just ball out and make a damn Hall of Fame. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, of course, like I said, the legal stuff got to play out first.
It
He
does.
might not ever play again. Who knows how that's going to work? But as of right now, like I say, the case hadn't went forward, so he's eligible to play.
All right, well, that'd be a great thing, man. So with these Falcons, man, we're gonna end it with this pretty much. These Falcons coming in next year. New head coach Stefanski. I'm still on the bubble with Stefanski. Don't know much about him. All I know is what happened in Cleveland this last year, and you only can go off what a cat resume is. He was a losing head coach. He had some quarterback issues up there. Didn't seem like he could make a decision, or he didn't want to make a decision being the head coach. So if you come in and do a great job, of course the city get behind him. But if you come in here and do that 7-9 or 8-9 like Raheem and Arthur Smith did, we'll be talking about getting rid of that trick in the first year. You know how the city do.
Yeah, we we're fed up. We want to make the playoff. So I think the pressure is definitely on him. I think he has potential to make the playoff. I think he's a much better coach than what we had. His experience wise, and they know the whole Cleveland thing. That I believe it was bigger than him. Don't believe that decision was all on him. I believe he was kind of told to do certain things. You're going to do certain things. From that organization, the heads up, the head people in charge up there. So I don't think that was all on him. But yeah. But other than that, yeah, the pressure is definitely on him. We got to make the playoff. If we don't make the playoff, he probably not gonna get fired, but it won't be a good look. Yeah, the fans gonna really be like, I don't know about this dude, and then they probably gonna be like, Matt, I don't know about you either because you select this guy. So a lot is riding on that decision to hire him.
Yeah, it is, man. It is, man. So we're gonna get ready to close this short, man. Another great DBM Sports Show with King David and Abreu, man. You got any closing remarks, King David?
UGA running backs, baby.
UGA running back. And also, I want y'all to like, subscribe, share, and we get ready to have some subscriptions coming up. So I hope y'all go and sign up for a few subscriptions to DBM Sports, man. We got a lot of stuff coming, maybe even some merch. You just never know. Until next time, y'all be good.